On December 11th, 2012, 22 high school students were arrested in Temecula, California, a sunny suburb just east of LA. It was the culmination of what authorities called Operation Glasshouse, a 21 Jump Street-style undercover sting. Adult police officers posed as students in 2 high schools. They went to class, did homework, and tried to get kids to sell them illegal drugs on campus. This is the story of Jesse Snodgrass, an autistic teenager who was one of the students arrested that day. At the beginning of his senior year, Jesse thought he'd made a new friend, a fellow student named Daniel Briggs. But this friendship was a sham. Daniel Briggs was in fact Deputy Daniel Zipperstein, a cop in his mid-20s. Ever since his arrest, Jesse has suffered from PTSD, so he didn't want to talk to us on camera. But he wants his story known. His parents, Doug and Catherine Snodgrass, welcomed us into their home to talk about how Operation Glasshouse affected their son and what they're doing to fight back. This is the story of how the war on drugs preys on the most vulnerable. Did Jesse have many friends growing up?
Well, that's always been a big challenge for Jesse. He has no friends.
Senior year, he made a new friend, right?
Yeah, it was huge progress. We felt it was a milestone in Jesse's life. It seemed like a godsend to us. On one of the very first days of school, Daniel asked Jesse to get him some marijuana.
So you do know who that is?
Yeah.
Do you know his name?
Daniel Briggs.
Have you ever sold Daniel Briggs drugs? We know that you've sold drugs.
But I just gave him some because he was just all like, I need this.
So Daniel asked Jesse to get him some marijuana. He also gave him some money, $20 to get it for him. Jesse didn't know where to get it. I started texting him relentlessly, making requests, bugging him. He agonized over this for some time. He decided to go to a dispensary, a marijuana dispensary, and he found some guy who Jesse says he thinks was a homeless guy who was near there, and he gave him the $20 and got a very small amount of marijuana for it. And that's what he supplied to Dan. He was charged with 2 felony counts of selling marijuana.
Oh, there it is. Yep. That's the amount of weed. Mm-hmm. Ha! $20, 0.6 grams. That's outrageous.
I think he was really worried about how am I going to do this, because if I don't, I'm going to lose my friend, his only friend.
He was desperate. This is the beginning where he just sort of starts to retreat. And, it's really hard to get his attention. You would kind of clap your hands loudly in front of him and he wouldn't even flinch. At around age 2, his speaking just stopped. He just stopped. Being aware of things, he was just not here. You'll start noticing he's looking away from the camera almost all the time, where he would just sit in the corner by himself and kind of wave his hand in front of his face like this for hours. His behavior was becoming more and more isolating. I went out of my way to find him play dates. Kids would come over and I would make sure they'd have a really good time, because I'd want to kind of encourage any friendships. That would be one time only. I don't think he'd ever have more than one play date.
Did you at all feel like the betrayal that ended up happening with the undercover cop was kind of like there's echoes of various things that happened through his lifetime?
Absolutely.